Welcome all. Today we are coming back again to discuss a very important topic of setting up a self-managed super fund. We are going to talk about how to set up a self-managed super fund, and from that, how you can purchase a property, how you can build up a property portfolio, and how you can get benefits in your retirement, how you can improve your retirement benefits. To advise how to do that whole process, Dwellings Group have partnership with two other companies to create a consortium. We are very proud about it, and we have partnered up with Dream Wealth Dylan here to discuss that. Ivan Dylan.
Ivan,
and then we have Limitless Accounting Manjula Prasanga. Ivan. And also, as usual, we have Tikshana Somaratna, director from Dwellings Group, joining with us to today's discussion. So the discussion is, if you have super, and if you have money in your super, you can take control of that super and decide where you're going to invest your super and how you can buy a property, how you can multiply and create a portfolio of properties by using your own super funds. Otherwise, you could have given it to a regular super management company and not even looking at it, what's happening, and they'll either giving you interest or either invest on a share market, but there's no guarantee the income of getting a return. But in self-managed super funds, you have more control, more flexibility, and also you can decide what you're going to invest on with your super. So Dylan, to start with the discussion, why super is the answer, the question why we should use your super to create a self-managed super fund and start making property investment through super. Can you elaborate on this, how someone can think of setting up a self-managed super fund account and do property investments?
Sure, Sanchika. One of the most important things I've come across with a lot of clients, dealing with a lot of clients over 15 years, is there are a lot of myths about superannuation. Every time or most times when I talk to clients about superannuation, they think it's either shares or else they think my property is my super, or when I talk to clients who have businesses, they say my business is my super. A lot of them actually think about super as some shares that's working in the background, rather than thinking that actually super is in my control and I can invest my money in my super into things like property or a lot of other assets, like even term deposits or sometimes gold, or a lot of these assets. But property comes to the top because it's something quite tangible, and a lot of people have experience in investing into property. And one of the most important things is, at retirement after 60, you can sell this property without capital gains tax. So it is a fantastic opportunity. One, the deposit is almost there. And the second thing is, most people who are employed, their superannuation guarantee contribution goes in. That's sufficient to pay the rent, my apologies, the loan payments for the any borrowing that's inside the super fund. And it's one of the most tax effective investment vehicles that's available for anybody.
That's great, Dylan. Now, if you make it very simple terms, so for example, if an ordinary person, husband and wife, for example, in their 45 years old plus, working, either have a good amount in a super which has given to a regular company of super, they must be getting interest on that, or they have invested in a share market which you don't have much control.
Yes.
And even given the recent COVID-19 situations, some of their share market dropped and you would have lost your super balance because of that. But in this, if you invested in a property, you know where you have purchased the property, and then you can see it is tangible, and even the property market drops, then you have that physical asset. You can wait till the right time comes to sell. What you're saying is, if you're selling after 60 years, there's no CGT.
That's correct. Especially, so the two conditions: one, they have to be over 60, and also they have to be retired. Yeah. So at that point in time, there's no capital gains tax, and also people don't have to wait till they retire. So if they were to sell a property, after 12 months keeping inside the super fund, still the capital gains tax is 10%. So it is a lot better than having it in your own name. So that's one of the most important things. And also the rent that you receive from the property is not taxed on your taxable income as well. So it's taxed at 15% compared to your marginal tax rate. But someone's over 60 and they're retired, they can sell the property capital gains tax free. And that's one of the things I've seen with a lot of clients. Some of them build a big investment property portfolio, but when it's coming for retirement, they don't have sufficient cash flow sometimes, but they don't want to sell any of their properties because they're going to hit with capital gains tax. So this is one of the easiest vehicles to avoid that capital gains tax.
That's a huge benefit.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to turn to Manjula. Now Tilan explain why we should use self-managed super funds to purchase properties if you're getting closer to your retirements. Now the question is how someone set up this. What are the accounting processes involved to set up a self-managed super fund, and how easy is that? There are a lot of people think this is not an easy task, and I don't want to go through this hassle. But that's why we have created this consortium that all expertise in one place. We have a financial planner, we have an accountant, we have a real estate experts to select the right products. Can you elaborate how to set up a super fund, self-managed super fund, from the accounting point of view?
Yeah, Sanjika, it's really not difficult to set up a super fund. It's basically you need to have a special structure for a super fund. You need to have some members. It can be 1 to 4 members.
Husband and wife, or
husband
two families.
and wife or friends, you can get together and form a super fund. And also you need to have someone called trustee in the super fund. And the trustee can be an individual or a corporate, like a company. We can use a company as a trustee. So setting up is easy. That's what we are doing, setting up the super funds and helping all our clients to manage their own self-managed super fund. So it's not that difficult, but you need to have a proper structure and proper procedures in place before you set up the super fund. So it's very important to have it from the beginning when you set up a super fund.
Yeah. So it's very important to follow the government guidelines of how you handle your super accounts.
Look,
so I think we should elaborate that a little bit, Dylan. It's not you have that account, you can't take money out of that account.
Look, very important. And when I'm usually setting up this structure for a lot of clients, I set up a separate account in a different financial organization to make sure that their day-to-day banking and the accounts of superannuation don't get mixed up. So that's something very important. But that's the operation fact. But in terms of setting up, it's very important to understand there are a lot of rules governing self-managed super funds. So things like related party transactions, which means you can't put any one of your investment properties into a self-managed super fund. So, and there are a lot of other rules like that. But initially, when setting up inside the self-managed super fund, you usually can't borrow. For that, we need to set up another structure inside the self-managed super fund, which is called a bear trust, where Manjula, is obviously an expert. We've done a lot of strategies together. So once you set up a self-managed super fund, you set up another trust inside the self-managed super fund called a bear trust, which allows the super fund to borrow to invest in a property.
Right.
Dylan, now coming back to investing your super fund in property market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at the different types of properties available, there are commercial properties and house and land packages, apartments. And what sort of rules you should look into when you basically investing your funds into a property? You can purchase any type of property, or is it off the plan, single part contract, or what sort of properties we should look into?
Yeah, good question, Tikshan. With regards to property, there are mainly it falls into two areas. One's commercial real estate and then residential real estate. So residential, it's always very important to understand it has to be a single contract. Again, as we discussed before, there are a number of rules we need to adhere. So you can't really subdivide and do renovations, extended renovations, so on and so forth. It has to be a single contract property. A lot of clients, because of that, buy an off the plan townhouse or an existing dwelling or a brand new property which is in a single contract, which is not really common, but that can be found.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are experts, obviously, you'll have access to those properties as well. And something very important is business owners, they potentially can run their business through a commercial property that they own through their self-managed super fund. So I have a lot of doctors who are running their medical practice through a self-managed super fund, and a lot of other business owners who have their premises is owned by the self-managed super fund, which is fantastic because the rent that they pay goes back into their own pocket. So which is a brilliant.
That is great. For simple terms, basically, if you are running a business and you buy your warehouse or a shop or medical practice or whatever from your super funds, and then pay the rent to your super fund itself, which is basically your business paying to your own super fund.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the beauty is when you're at 60, if you're selling, no CGT, and also after 60 for the rental income, there's no
Tax to pay.
Tax as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly. That's why this strategy is so important. If you structure it properly, if you plan it properly, and also something very important is what's your exit strategy. So and something important is to most people would need to borrow to purchase a property. So we need to have a plan. All right, how do we pay off this loan at the time of retirement? So at the time of retirement is a discussion I have with clients, whether it's 55 or 60 or 65 or whatever the client prefers. So we need to have a strategy where on the day that they retire, the loan balance needs to be zero. I mean, it doesn't have to be. So it's really good to own the property outright at the time of retirement.
That's the plan, I think.
That is the plan.
So that's great. And the another important aspect is now, on this consortium, we as real estate experts, we have access to all these single part contracts, commercial properties, apartments and townhouses. Then it goes through to the approval of the financial advisor, and then we can fine tune that list of properties if someone wants to buy, and then it goes to Manjula to set up the accounting side of it, and then it's off you go, and your self-managed super funds are done. And Manjula, one last question: as an individual person submitting tax returns, same way do you have to submit tax returns for these self-managed super funds?
Yes, self-managed super funds, they have to do annual tax returns, and also you need to do the audit. There's a separate thing called you need to audit the super fund, and also prepare accounts, and it's like a normal company, but you have to audit the super fund and lodge tax returns. That's normal as an individual or a company.
So we have discussed very important and interesting points, but time is running up, so we had to wind up our program today. But if you have any questions related setting up your self-managed super funds and how to buy properties through that, you can email us through smsf@dwellingsgroup.com.au, or you can come to our website landing page dwellingsgroup.com.au/smsf. You can reach Dylan, Manjula and ourselves, Dwellings Group team, in how to setting up your self-managed super funds and going to investing in your property. So we will come back again in another program to discuss on another important point. Till then, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much.